Welcome to another video showing off my Entropy t-shirt, as Grumpy calls it. I guess you've also taken the hint. What this video is going to be about. NFTs have finally dropped. As soon as I figure out what the hell an NFT is, I'll let you know. So here we go. Before we go any further, please make sure you like this video. Liking the video, subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet, hit the little bell notification. Crypto is picking up. It's getting wild. If you've been in YouTube longer than 5 minutes, you know, everybody's talking about alt season and everything else. But, you know, we're into our DIDNT projects. I'm looking into getting into even more DIDNT projects. Entropy is a project that is really picking up a lot of steam. This team is doing a lot of collaborations, a lot of marketing, going to a lot of conferences and pushing this project out. And the best we can do to help out is hit that thumbs up button. So Entropy that I have tagged all in the description gets pushed out. Hit the thumbs up before we go any further. So before we go too far, just remember, everything we discuss is not financial advice. I tell y'all what I'm doing. You know, some of y'all would be idiots following what I'm doing, as Alex would always talk about. So this is what I'm doing with my NFTs, with my Entropy, and we're going to discuss that shortly. With all my crypto that I talk about in every video, I tell everybody up front, I'm going to sell when I'm ready to sell. Whether it's the NFTs we're about to talk about, I can tell you right now, I have no plans on selling tokens for my projects because the prices are too low. But if there's some type of catastrophe that comes next week, I might sell every single one of them. I'm going to do it when I'm ready to do it, and it might be no notice to anybody else. You know, I'm hoping that we get to hold and go through a good alt season and sell towards the top when we think the indicators get there. But, you know, plus with Entropy, there's no selling tokens at all right now. So we don't even really have to worry about that. But the NFTs, all bets are off. So if you're into the Entropy project, or if you bought an Ashlars and you're looking for the NFT, the NFTs have minted and they're cool as hell, I have to say. I'm not going to sit in and pretend like I know a lot about NFTs. I'm an older guy, if you haven't noticed. And call me a boomer or whatever like that. But in the past Bitcoin or crypto cycles, NFTs is something I have not really gotten into because I didn't see the intrigue in them. I was more purchase token, get involved in projects and holding on to those tokens. I know some people were getting into NFTs in the last cycle, especially towards the end. And I messed up. Y'all know I am a YouTuber. I'm a very, very rare YouTuber who can admit when he screws up or I effed up. I didn't listen because I didn't understand. And I'll admit that. When they had back in, several months ago, was that January, February, somewhere around there, they started with the pre-mint for people who had Entropy, where you could trade in your Entropy with no penalty and get a pre-mint placeholder. You know, at that time, I had 3 NFTs. I knew I was going to get Ashlars. So I pre-minted 6 NFTs. And that was it. I thought I was sitting good. A couple of weeks ago, they had another post pre-mint where they opened it up again that you can use Entropy with a limit of 5 NFTs. And I was told, like, I need to max them out. I was told that by the professor and by people in the project, HQ and all them, HD and all that. Like, I was told, you need to get a hold of more NFTs. Get as many as you can. Trust us. Get it. And I didn't listen because I wanted to hold on to that Entropy. I didn't really understand the whole intrigue. I didn't understand what they were going to be used for. I knew that the project would be selling NFTs at some point. So I'm like, why would I have NFTs to sell when they would be selling? I didn't understand and realize the full scope. So like I said, a couple of weeks ago, I then went and purchased, I don't even know, 3 or 4 different NFTs. So when that second opportunity came up, each wallet could do a max of 5. I did 2. I had 3 accounts that had enough entropy in it, and I could sit there and do 5. So I could have did 15 if I wanted. I ended up doing 2 in each wallet, which is basically 6 at that point. So I had now 6 extra ETFs, and NFTs, and I thought, I had the mindset that, well, I can't technically sell entropy because I get in trouble with Jeter the Leader. But hey, if I purchased a couple of extra NFTs and I go sell them, well, then I can make $100 something off of each one, hopefully. Whenever NFTs started getting sold out, they'd want to buy some from us. And that's a way of me offloading some entropy without getting in trouble. At least that's my thought. I was way wrong. It's even way better than that. So when we first bought our entropy during the pre-mint, we had placeholders like this. We still have placeholders. It showed like this wallet, I bought 3 pre-mints. And then this was the second, or the post pre-mint, I bought 2 more. And that's what this placeholder looked like. So these placeholders are still here. So yesterday we had our NFTs unveiled to us where we could see what they are. So in this particular wallet, I had 5. So I have an ape, and I got 4 whales. And this whale is actually, I forget. See, that's where I start getting messed up. Is they have rare, and then they have uncommon and common. But that's what this wallet has right here. This is the coolest one with the little snake skin. It's got the joint on them. But this one's got the camouflage shirt. I joked and said I think I got the same shirt. But they all got a little ENT somewhere on them. This one's got a little shovel right here, for digging holes. I don't see any kind of entropy symbol on this one. And this one's got miners eat first and then 2 symbols up here. So this is another part I didn't understand. This is my main wallet. Again, I did 3 in the first pre-mint, 2 more in the second mint. So now I have 5 again. I got a snake, and I got 4 whales in this one. So I got 1 more wallet, and this one has 1 snake in it. So I just had 1. I didn't have enough entropy. It's a newer wallet, so I didn't have enough entropy to buy anything more than that. So this one does have 1 snake in it. Now, for y'all to figure out, what these are worth or anything like that, you go to Magic Eden website. Now you go to magiceden.us. You can go to login, and it's going to pull up your, which wallet you want. You want, of course, if you have everything in Phantom, you want the Phantom wallet. Now your wallet's up here. You go to Entropy, but you have to make sure you go to the Entropy A allocation, or the Entropy Acolytes. This shows all the ones that are currently for sale. If you go to My Items, it tells you what it is. If you hover over it, this is just a common one. So it tells you all the characteristics of it. Now, if you log out, go to your other Phantom account. If you have, multiple Phantom accounts like I do, log into that one. Then you go to My Items, and you can see this is where I also have my other ones at. These are all uncommon type 60%. And the snake is also ranked a little bit different, but this is uncommon also. And again, it tells you all the characteristics of it. And then I'm going to show you my last wallet real quick. So again, to sign into another wallet, you logged out, you log back in, you go to view all wallets, Phantom on a Solana chain. You're going to connect it, then confirm it. And now here are my whales on that one. And as you can see, I have a common, and then an epic. So epic is one of the top ones. That's the one with the snake skin I was telling you about. I have a common and then a rare, which is the snake. So that's what I have. Now, what I think is pretty phenomenal is when you look at what the prices of what some of these NFTs are listing at right now, if you want to get in this project, and this is the part where I didn't understand. So let's take a deep breath here. I'm putting chapters in this, so I know it's going to be kind of all over the place. So what I did not realize is now that the mint is done, Entropy itself, the project itself, is out of the game. They are out of the NFT business. And that should make a lot of people feel good because there's a lot of naysayers saying, oh, now they're going to start selling all these NFTs and collecting all this money. No, they're not. The pre-mint has been done. The pre-mint, we use the Entropy. Some people who are new to the project use Solana, but now NFT sales are done as far as Entropy is concerned. So if Joe Blow, Jane Doe, Mike Smith, whoever, goes today and uses Grumpy's code, of course, and purchases a Ashlar from Helium Deploy when it come back in stock, he has to have an NFT to let it mine. The only way nowadays he's getting an NFT is by buying an NFT from somebody. That's it. Whether you're going to use this website or you go to Tensor, TENSOR.trade. Now, this is where it gets a little out the box for me because I don't know if these are two completely different sites or both these sites showing off the same NFTs. I don't know. And a preliminary look kind of tells me that these are kind of showing the same sites because you can see like 2191's right here, 1177's right here, and you come over here and you see 1177 and 2191. So now I can instantly sell mine right now for 0.0814 Solana. And Solana, you know, it was high at first. Let's see. It was at $200 the other day. It's come down a little bit, back up. But either way, 0.814 Solana is $155 that you can sell this for right now. So as I was saying earlier, my original plan, before I realized how this worked, is I could now sell mine, which is technically I bought it with Entropy. So I could almost sell 3 of my Entropies and make, I failed college math, $450. So the people who said like you can't get money out of Entropy, if I wanted to right now, I could be done. Or I could attempt to sell it directly using this, and you see what these are going for. Again, here's 1.12 Solana. 1.12 Solana, and you're looking at $213. And then you look at how these prices are going up. Now, this is the part that me as an old man doesn't understand. And look, I guess it's like art. You know, you go to an art museum, what makes this painting worth $1,000 and this painting worth $10,000? Maybe, you know, I'm too much of a redneck Cajun swamp person to figure that out. But as you can see, as you go up, you can see the prices of these things. 4 Solana, 4.5, 5, 7, 11, 11.2 Solana. $2,000. Now, are people buying them for that? I don't know, but at some point, if people want to get in this project, they're going to have to start buying them. You know, even with this little price reduction we've had in the last 24 hours, we almost ate a zero. But even with that, we're still making $5.42 a day right now. We don't know what's going to happen when these other Ashlars come online. There's a whole bunch of Ashlars going to be shipped. We know there's an issue right now. I'm going to talk about that in a little bit with onboarding some ones in the EU. You know, I think some people are just getting silly with this, but you do have people asking 118 Solana for a common. You know, I don't know about all that. No, here's a legendary for 88. Is it 88? 86 Solana. Like, come on, guys. Now you got 13, 29. That, like, when you get here to these mythic top 1%, I think that's one thing. Look, here's number 7, a mythic top 1% for 33 Solana. Look, I hope people get them. And I don't know if I figured this out right, because I did fail college math, but the average, so you can basically say you have 83 that's been sold in the last 24 hours, 87, almost 88 total Solana. So your average price has been about 1.1 Solana, which is still, again, you didn't spend that when you bought these things at all. So the question I'm getting all over the place from several people is, what is Grumpy doing? Well, Grumpy's just still trying to wrap his head around all this. But first thing I have to do is I have to make sure that the 3 Ashlars I have mining currently right now, each one of those Phantom wallets, because I'm on a Phantom, I have Phantom and I have it listed as, Entropy 2, Entropy 3, as far as my ESP32s go, because I have 3 of those. But I also have 3 Ashlars right now. I have one at my office showing off nothing. It looks beautiful, sexy. I have one right here, and I have one behind me. Those 3 behind me don't have currently NFTs in them. The first one that I had, the first 3 ESP32s, I had enough entropy in all 3 of those to buy at least 1 NFT. So those are taken care of. Till I make this confusing in a minute. My 3 Ashlars, because they're so new, did not have enough to pre-mint. So what I have to do is I have to make sure that each one of those Ashlars gets an NFT put in it. But it's not as simple as that. And this is another part where Grumpy screwed up. I thought that each Ashlar each NFT would possibly have a multiplier, but it's not. It's a combination of that. So yesterday in the announcement section was this ancient relic, algorithmic hieroglyphics or something like that. So it took me a while to wrap my mind around this. So basically, you have, say, 1 Ashlar in a wallet. It needs at least 1 NFT to mine. However, depending on what you have in that wallet, what that NFT is, you could get a multiplier. This is another part Grumpy didn't understand. I wish I would have minted way more. If you only have a snake, which, I have 1 snake, that would only give you a 0.9x of, so you wouldn't even get a 1x for mining. An ape gets you 1x. It's basically no bonus. 1 whale will give you 1.33x of mining. Now, this is the part that I don't really understand, but hey, this is their game. But if you have 5 whales, you get 1.8x. Okay. But if you have the combination of a whale, an ape, and a snake, well, that makes you a chair, and you get 2x. Then if you get this trophy one, that's a 2.38x. Now, I don't know what the trophy is. I don't know if that's one of those rare NFTs or something like that from one of the other collections, nothing to do with this, or something like that. Here in announcements, they kind of describe everything. They did have this announcement. I was going to talk about this later, but hey, it's right here. If you live in the EU and you're having issues with getting your miner implemented, unplug it until they tell you to plug it in. They're having this, they sent out all these Ashlars at one time, and they were having issues trying to get them all provisioned at the one time. So they want everybody to kind of unplug them. They put a fix in to fix it, and they're trying to get them kind of slowly done. So if you're in the EU and you're having a problem, unplug it for now, follow the announcements, watch the Discord, and they'll tell you when to put it back in, back online. So there's a big write-up here about Entropy A and all that stuff like that. The Entropy Acolyte collection consisted of 5,000 plus whales, 3,000 plus apes, 11,000 snakes, and 9 grails. I don't know what the grails look like. I haven't seen any grails. You may verify, and make sure you understand this. You may verify an acolyte by checking the collection ID, and it's the collection ID. Note that every acolyte ID starts with an EA. Somebody said in there that people are going to start trying to put fake NFTs out there. Just watch out for that. This collection is available on Magic Eden and Tensor marketplaces. That's what I showed y'all earlier. You know, Entropy is beautiful, sexy. It shows art. We understand that. It's nothing. We understand that. Our anniversary and consequent halving is coming up on 8/8, almost a year now. Miners have been tolling away. Network rewarded them with tons of ENT. And soon you will have to hold an Acolyte NFT in your wallet. The new mechanic codifies the reality of owning an Acolyte as proof of stake in the network. Acolytes are the stake. ENT is the reward. A summary of reward mechanism follows. In addition to Acolyte, if you have a Phantasmagoria, Ultimate, or Eternal, or any one of the Entropy Energy Elementals, a Dewey Cat 197, or a EEE Renke. I want to see what. Then they go over this base score, Acolyte multiplier, and that kind of stuff like that. I don't want to make this video way too longer. Y'all can go to the Discord, to the general and announcements section, and you can read all about this. So what's Grumpy's plan as of right now? Again, I'm going to take this slow and easy like an old man. I'm planning on making a little spreadsheet or writing it down with pencil and paper, literally. And I'm going to try to finagle a combination that I want at least, you know, I have at least one snake and one ape. So in one of my wallets, probably my first ESP32, because that's my best score on it. It's been doing it since last September or August. In that wallet, I'm going to have the combination of snake, ape, and whale. That should give me the 2x rewards like this. Right? From there, my plan is I got to do the math and see if I can, on another one, if I can do 5 whales, but still have enough whales for the rest. But I do have that really rare whale. And I'm telling you, if I can get 2x and do all this and still have that rare whale left over, at some point I would like to sell it. I'd like to, that was the whole idea, was to be able to sell some of these NFTs and stuff like that. But what I'm going to do first is I'm writing all this down like an old man. I got my 6 wallets. Put up there, I got X amount of whales, X amount of apes, X amount of snakes. These are the wallets they're in right now. Move one here, move one here, move one here, move this combination here, and see what it looks like at the end. Ideally, yeah, I'm not lying to y'all, I would like to be able to sell 1 or 2 of these and make $300, $400. I really also think the way that the Entropy team is pushing this project, going to all these Solana spaces, these Solana conferences, more conferences, mining conferences, all the stuff you're hearing about, this project is just going to get bigger. So I had some people ask me about how do you move a NFT? So basically it's just like moving any kind of crypto. So I need to go ahead and move a whale into, say, one of my Ashlars wallets. So with Phantom makes it very easy. So I'm going to take my whale and come on, man. But this is kind of my basic whale, and I'm going to press send. And for Phantom, I just got to click this and figure out which account I want to move it to. So Ashlar number 1, I told you my 3 Ashlars all need NFTs. So Ashlar number 1, I'm clicking Ashlar number 1, and I'm going to click next. Confirm send. And that's it. So if this worked right, when I go to Ashlar number 1's account, see, it says Ashlar number 1, and I go to collectibles. I took a deep breath real quick. That took a little bit. But anyway, I now have a Ashlar Entropy, as I call it, or Entropy Acolyte NFT in it. So now for my other Ashlars, Ashlar number 2, Magic Eden keeps trying to connect. I need an NFT to continue to mine that one. And for Ashlar number 3, again, I also need a NFT to be sent to that. But again, I want to see what my combinations look like. But for those, I had several people ask me about sending NFTs. They were nervous. That right there was the first time I have ever sent the NFT anywhere. So that was us doing it together. We'll see. We'll see what happens with token prices. We'll see what happens with, I'm not going to sit here and sugarcoat it. Y'all know I'm straight with everybody here. I love this project, but I'm also straight with all my viewers. Yes, we know that when there's 1,000 Ashlars that are going to be delivered soon by Helium Deploy, any week, any day now. They've had 2 different drops on Helium Deploy, a 500 drop and another 500 drop. Thank you all again for using my code. And those sold out. So that's 1,000 more Ashlars coming soon. That's going to lower the reward some. However, we had a very healthy price increase. So even though our rewards got cut almost in half, but because we had a 30 to 40% price increase, we might have went from $8 or $9 a day to almost $6 a day. If we still get that price coming in like that, we do. Hey, a halving's coming. If you've watched any of my videos, I'm not going to change my tune now just because I like Entropy. I hate halvings. I just don't think some of these projects need halvings. I definitely don't think projects need a halving after 1 year. And I don't care if it's Entropy. I don't care if it's GeoNet. From what I understand, Wingbits is not really having halvings. They got this other thing, and I got to do a video on that. But it got made clear to me that Wingbits does not have a halving. But I don't think halvings automatically mean price increase. Just like I don't think burnings automatically mean price increase. You still have to have liquidity come in. But I'm going to tell you right now, this project burns the hell out of some tokens. They burn the living hell out of tokens. And then they're going to have this halving. And then, all bets are off from there. We'll see. Some people who might believe in this project might be buying tokens. When they see these dips like this, they're buying tokens. And if you buy your own tokens, you can sell your own tokens. One thing I will caution everybody is I know I've made this mistake and I've had other people tell me they've made this mistake. If you're going to buy Entropy tokens, make sure you use a separate wallet for that and don't get them all mixed up. Because what happened with mine is I sold to buy one of the Ashlars, thought I was using all my tokens just from buying the dips, and I dipped into the too much and I sold some of my mine tokens. I didn't get in trouble for it because it was only a little bit, but it messed up my score with Jita Deleter. So, if you're getting an Ashlar and you're finding this video to find out about NFTs and stuff, and you don't know what Jita Deleter is, you need to stop what you're doing and do some homework and get in that Discord and find out. Because people who get these Ashlars and try to sell right away are going to brick their Ashlar. Then you're going to lose your NFT. And then to get back in the project, you got to buy a new Ashlar with a new NFT at least. At least that's what I'm being told. So hopefully this kind of explained the whole NFT thing to you. I know it's kind of fast. Hey, I'm learning myself too. Of course I know what NFTs are, but some of these NFTs do more than what some other ones do. But this is the first project I'm really into with a lot of NFTs like this. The way, you got this one, and Junk did some with some NFT boosters and stuff like that. But this is wild. I'm happy. I'm curious to see what happens with it. But I think it goes to show you the growth that this project's doing. I'm glad to be a part of it. Glad to be a part of it with, X. And I'm gonna tell you also, make sure y'all are in this Discord. I know it's not to be taken lightly. It's I'm trying to think of what word I can put nicely to it. It's a very dedicated group of people that love their project. Let's just put it like that. But whether or not, if you don't have a title yet, you can, and you're in the pencils, there's a lot of stuff going on there. And also in the minor section, a lot of talk about all these different NFTs and stuff like that. Get in this Discord. and watch what kind of questions you ask, because sometimes they like to rib you a lot. It's a very active Discord, but I think the naysayers are probably kicking themselves in the butt. Naysayers who thought, you know, this was shenanigans and stuff like that. Hopefully this kind of legitimates them. I'm sure they're not going to admit it, that they were wrong. But I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to say. I think it's cool. I think it's a cool thing. I'm going to go play with my NFTs, figure out exactly what kind of combination I'm going to put, what I have to put, and then even though I might sell one or two, I'm telling y'all right now, I'm not selling them right now, because you look at just what these prices went up in a day. You know, I'm curious to see what this looks like by the time I do my video, well, my live video Thursday tomorrow versus next Monday when I do that update video. I'm curious to see what these prices look like and what people are getting for these. So we'll see. You have any questions, leave them down. Make sure you're in my Discord. We're talking about this in my Discord also. I have a link to my Discord below, and it has all these different projects we're in that Discord. So hopefully this video wasn't too long. Hopefully, you know, you can follow the chapters. And I appreciate everybody's support building the channel. We're up to about 32 subscribers now. Thank you all very much. And make sure you hit the like button below. Appreciate it. See you all next video.